Hello, welcome to English 2089. I want to go over a few things with you about how the course works and kind of how the course is set up and why we're doing what we're doing. So you can see that I'm actually on the Start Here page. When you first log in, you'll be on the Announcements page, but it's really essential that if you have not taken a look at the Start Here page and then some of the things that we're going to take a look at, that you go back and do that. So Start Here begins with this reminder of the things that you need to take a look at. So it says review the course syllabus. If you haven't done that, please do that. Look through the Blackboard menu by clicking down the buttons and seeing what's where. You want to familiarize yourself with every course that you're in, what lives where. I even take notes on that whenever I'm in classes. And yes, professors still take classes. I have my PhD and I do things sometimes just for my own pleasure and sometimes because I need to continue my education in some ways. And the other thing that's listed there is to contact me with questions that you have. In an online course, sometimes you can feel like you're an island out there all by yourself, and we don't want you to feel that way at all. We want you to contact us and let us know that you're having questions. In a face-to-face class, when we go over something or when we're talking about something, we can see that you have questions. When you come in, you can look a little frustrated, and we can understand that maybe something didn't go well overnight or in the in-between. But in an online class, we might not realize that. Sometimes students just continue to work and we think you're just not getting it. We try to reach out to you maybe, and maybe given the number of students that we have, you just sort of fall between the cracks, which we try not to have happen, but it does. The other thing that's listed on this page is all of the information about academic and technical support that we have here on this campus. So you can see all of that information, and you want to be sure that you're taking advantage of that opportunity if you need that help. This is particularly important because I'm not able to help you with all of the technical aspects that you might run into, and you want to be sure that you know where to go get that technical help, but also because there are some accessibility issues that you may run into for academic support that you may need additional help for, and that information is listed here. So starting at the beginning of the Start Here information is the syllabus. So if you go on here, when we look here, there is the syllabus, and we're going to go in there in just a second, but there are two other items on the page. One is a note about Gen Ed courses. Sometimes folks are a little frustrated because they have to take Gen Ed, and we want to remind you that general education courses help broaden your areas of knowledge. And so particularly at the sophomore level course, folks are a little frustrated that they're having to take another English class. So you might just want to take a look at that when you're getting a little frustrated. The other thing listed here is counseling services. Now, counseling is not just about maybe depression and things like that, but there are other things that might be going on in your life that you need help with that are just periodic. And sometimes as a student, those periodic issues come up and they really can interfere with your ability to be successful as a student. And so we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get the counseling services that you need. It may not be that you need them, it may be that a friend needs them. So be sure that you're aware of those services, how to sign up for the help that you need, and where to get that help. Let's take a look then at the syllabus and how this works. So you can see that you click through, right, here and here. So the information is screen by screen. This allows you to really focus on what you need. Read each screen, go through and take a look at it. This is our list of required textbooks. Obviously not everything that you need is a textbook, and Inconvenient Truth is a movie. You'll need to get a hold of that. You're responsible for the information in there, but please contact me if you have questions. In terms of contacting me, here is my contact information. It's listed under faculty information. It's also available to you in the syllabus, but it's faster probably to go to to the faculty information contact page. There's my email address. Phone numbers are listed here, and then my office location is Walters Hall, and the times that you can get a hold of me. The other information that you probably are going to want to look at the end of the syllabus, there's a calendar, and you can download that calendar. It will have the basic information available to you. And then the learning modules will come up week by week right here. And when we go into the learning modules, you'll find most everything that you need to take care of week by week by week. So you're going to want to come in here. Just because you have that overview of things does not mean that you don't need to go into the learning module. There's additional information typically posted in there that you will not find in the overview calendar, whether it is a document or whether it is an activity or the access to that activity. So that brings us over here to some of these other things. Here you can access discussion boards. We have an e-portfolio. Much of your work is posted into the e-portfolio, so be sure that you're taking care of figuring out how the e-portfolio works and where to use that e-portfolio and how to use that e-portfolio. Course documents and assignment information. You'll find that the course documents are repeated in the weekly learning modules where it's appropriate, and also in the assignment information. What we want to do now is to talk about how the course is set up, what we're doing, and how the curriculum functions. So before we open that overview of assignments, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the course itself is designed to do. We are using a curriculum called Teaching for Transfer, and the goal of Teaching for Transfer is to help you learn to write for the sake of writing, understanding how writing works, reflect on your writing a great deal, and to be able to take your writing skills that you already have, your knowledge about writing that you already have, and think about how that works, why it works, and when it doesn't work, why it doesn't work, and then to build on all of that and to use it in new contexts. So part of what we want to do is to really build upon your knowledge base and your core language base about writing. And our goal is transfer. How can we make writing work for you in multiple places, whether that's courses or work or in the community, and really focus on how you can take what you learned in previous classes and in this class and use it again and again and again. So let's take a look then at the overview of assignments. You can see that what we're going to be doing is really 4 major assignments. We're going to start with a source-based article, then we'll move on to an inquiry-based essay, and this is really what you would think of as the research project. Then you're going to take that research project and you're going to flip it, and you're going to change it up in 3 ways. You're going to do basically a genre flip. So you might think of it as multimodal writing at that point. And then we're going to wrap it all up at the end with a major course reflection. The reflection and presentation is one way to think of that. We might also think of that as a theory of writing. Okay? So when we look at the source-based article, you're going to really focus on the key terms of the course. And if you look down this column right here, you can see our key terms are listed. Now the thing about Teaching for Transfer is that we believe that there are key terms about writing that are essential to being able to transfer your knowledge and skills about writing. If we talk about writing a particular way and you think about writing in that way, whether or not you use those key terms yourself later on, when someone else uses those terms, or you're in a situation where you are called on to do something, those key terms will come back into play. So whether you're developing your own set of key terms or you're using my set of key terms, the goal is to have a core set of key terms. Does that make sense? I hope so. So the source-based article, you will develop your own article where you go beyond summarizing and analyzing some of the articles that I give you. So you'll work with a core set of those to talk about these key terms: genre, audience, rhetorical situation, and reflection. So you're doing these things. Now the reflection piece comes at the end of writing that article, so you'll only work with genre, audience, and rhetorical situation initially, and then you'll reflect and you'll talk about reflection separately. I hope that makes some sense right now as we're going over that. When you do the research project, you will analyze information from sources that you research on your own in those sources, but then you're also going to get out and do some research in the field. So you will talk to someone about their practices, or you will watch someone as they engage in those practices, right? So the questions that you ask are really important, inquiry-based research, as opposed to reporting. And then you're going to flip that project and turn it into 3 new genres to communicate to new audiences for new purposes, that sort of thing. Okay, that's the composition in 3 genres. And finally, at the end, we're really focused on what did I do, how do I know that I did it, and how could I do those things or something different from those things again. And that's what the reflection is all about. Right? You've probably done reflections before. Now the course is designed to work in a portfolio. So you will receive feedback. You have the option of conferencing with me, and the goal is to do a lot of peer-to-peer feedback. This is a capstone course at 2089. You don't focus as much on the development of your writing as we do on the outcome of your writing, but we are interested in you developing continually as writers, of course, throughout your studies here at UC. So what we want to do is we want to have that portfolio and watch your development and see your growth, and then see the outbirth of that as well. So if you have questions, please let me know. You can see that here we have the prompts. That's a collection of all of the prompts. You'll have supporting materials here in each of these folders for each of those projects. And as the learning modules begin to open up to you and we develop through the course, you'll see that many of these things are replicated inside the appropriate learning module as well. But this gives you a one-stop shop for coming in and finding things if you want to work ahead, or if you need to go back and find something you don't remember which week we started it. All right, holler at me if you need something. I'm always here to help, but I wanted to be sure and give you some sense of what we're doing and why we're doing it. The idea of basically working toward transfer, always pushing toward how you can take it and move it on, is really important to us. So you're going to see that we reflect a lot. You're going to be blogging, you're going to be doing a lot of stuff that you might not have done quite so much reflection in any course before, but our goal is to really focus on that transfer aspect and see how that works out for you. All right.